Good evening. My name is Garrett Brown and with me is Mr. Brown, and today we'll be looking at controlling bleeding with the use of a pressure dressing and a bandage. Now the pressure dressing is placed directly on the wound to control bleeding, and the bandage is used to keep the dressing in place. Be aside, the scene is safe and we will call for help. Now the scenario is that Mr. Brown here was cutting a banana and in the interim inflicted a 2-inch laceration to his forearm. As a first method of controlling bleeding, I will place my glove hand and apply pressure to the wound. Next, I will reach for my pressure dressing and place it beneath my glove hand onto the wound. I will check to see if bleeding is controlled. If bleeding is not controlled, I will allow the dressing to remain while add another. Once bleeding is controlled, then I would seek to apply my bandage. Now a point to note is that you do not remove a pressure dressing. Once bleeding is continuing, you continue adding more and more until it is controlled. Now applying my bandage, I would start from the distal portion that's closer to the finger and then move on to my proximal that's closer to the body. Now I would wrap my bandage right, and when I'm wrapping my bandage, I would ensure that my bandage is not too tight, neither is it too soft. Why it should not be too tight? We don't want to restrict circulation, and it should not be too slack to be ineffective in keeping the dressing in place. Once I finish wrapping, I'll tuck away the ends of my bandage beneath neatly, and that would be my demonstration. Now, Mr. Brown, I want you to demonstrate for me what you will just start.
Alright, so first, be aside, ensure that the scene is safe. Now, Mr. Brown would have suffered a laceration to the forearm. Now, what you will do first is to use the glove hand to control bleeding. Now, you get a pressure dressing and you will slip it directly onto the dressing to control the bleeding. Now, if you have observed that the bleeding is not controlled, what you will do is to add another pressure dressing, not removing the one you have placed before. So you slip that one under. So you add pressure dressing until you have observed that the bleeding has been controlled. Now, once the bleeding has been controlled, you would use your bandage to secure the pressure dressing. And you would wrap from the lower section of the arm to the upper section of the arm. Points to note, you would not want to wrap too tightly to restrict circulation, and you do not want to wrap too loosely for the bandage to be effective in keeping the pressure dressing in place. So you wrap all the way through. Once the bandage is finished, you just tuck it away neatly to secure the bandage.
Okay, Mr. Brown, it seems that you have learned well. Thank you for watching.